April 14th, 2020. Yesterday, people started talking about planning for reopening. It made me really sad. I don't want to return to quote-unquote normal. I can't handle the future is another one of my top tunes, and I don't have to believe it. It proves itself not to be true again and again. What I learn when the future actually arrives is that I can handle it. I'm more resilient than vulnerable. I'm more resourceful than powerless. There's an image I really want to capture. It's a bluebird touching down on a low branch surrounded by yellow daffodils in bloom. But I'm thinking that the way to do all this and attaining goals is to follow the deepest voice that arises in stillness, that can arise in any moment. And you come to know what that voice feels like, and you practice trusting it, and that voice that arises will show you the way, to your true path. What happened after speaking those words? A great blue heron just flew over me low down in the labyrinth. I have never seen a great blue heron in the labyrinth before. And what I was thinking the split second before that happened was that I can't will the bluebird to come and sit on that branch when I'm ready with my camera. But it's more likely to happen when I'm just following what feels right and what I feel drawn to. And then you're in the right place at the right time. And then, just like punctuation at the end of that sentence, the great blue heron flew right over me. April 15th, 2020. When what you want most is presence, everything else is just icing on the cake. Walking, feeling the sensations of my feet coming in contact with the earth, listening, feeling the aliveness in my body and in the world all around me. This resurgence energy of springtime, renewal, rebirth, regenerating, regrowing. Being present and connected to this is deeply satisfying. And I notice longing arising, longing to see a bluebird and to be ready and photograph it, and noticing the longing and going back to walking and feeling connected to all this amazing springtime energy. I pause at the center Really appreciating the value of a good pause, and feel the earth energy rising up through the bottoms of my feet, up into my legs, and up, filling my entire body. And at the same time, the sun is above me, and I feel the sunlight traveling down through the top of my head and all the way down through my body. It's the most wonderful feeling of connection. Being at the same time rooted and uplifted. Feeling that I have the energies of both heaven and earth flowing through me at the same time. April 16th, 2020. Today I'm literally weighed down with expectation to photograph bluebird. I have a really big lens on me. It's very heavy, and I feel that weight with every step. But the practice today is remaining in presence and not getting lost in expectation. So I acknowledge the weight of the camera and then return to walking again and again. And it's so much more enjoyable. The journey is so much more pleasant when I'm in presence rather than expectation. And I think it's beneficial to experience that contrast and to recognize the value of practicing every day. Well, I did just photograph a bluebird. I even got it right down on the ground in the daffodils, but I'm not sure I have the best lens for the job with me today. It's exciting when what you're seeking comes close. And with awareness, you can remind yourself in the moment to not get too caught up in the seeking. And desire and seeking and attaining, that's all good too. But it's even better when you can get yourself free from it. And you can be in that state without being imprisoned by it. You realize you're there and that you can get yourself out. That's the great freedom that this mindfulness meditation practice offers. To hold desires and seeking more lightly. April 17th, 2020. Today I arrive at the labyrinth with my camera, but free from expectations, because I photographed the bluebird in the daffodils yesterday. Some new longing will eventually arise. It always does. But I really appreciate having no expectations today. And what do you know? My friend the heron just touched down close by, behind a structure next to the labyrinth. feeling longing arise, and the dance of longing and noticing and allowing, and then walking again. There's a conversation going on. And when I'm noticing this conversation, I'm not having a conversation inside my head. And I'm also not thinking about photographing that heron. Until I remember. But it's not something I'm holding on to. This morning, I'm walking with joy in my feet and breathing joy into my lungs. My connection with the earth feels very joyful today and light, surrounded by so much life. Birds and flowers and ferns, the arising of the fiddleheads. This is a day when I'm holding any expectations lightly.